Bryan Mbeumo does not want 250 grand a week wages. Let's put an end to this absolute nonsense talk that's going around social media right now with this one. We do also have a significant update on Bryan Mbeumo and his move to Manchester United that has come out over the last couple of hours as well, which we'll update you on today here on the midday show on Forever United TV. Welcome along to the channel, everybody. Again, getting you fully updated with everything going on in and around Manchester United. Get into the comment section below and talk to me. A lot of people were asking me this morning, we did a live show on Bryan Mbeumo and I touched on Bryan Mbeumo's wages. So before we get into the update on Mbeumo and where we're actually at with it, I want to just completely quash this idea or this thought that Bryan Mbeumo is demanding 250 grand a week wages. Click, 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 bait, completely nonsense, crap, garbage. How do I know this? Well, I listened to Fabrizio Romano. I don't know why no one is listening to what he said. Whenever anything is good about Manchester United, no one really wants to pay attention because they all want to go in on what is happening at Manchester United and look at a negative, it would seem. Why are you not listening to him now when he actually comes out and says that Bryan Mbeumo is not wanting 250 grand a week wages? He just wants to be up there with a fair wage like what possibly Matheus Cunha is on. Romano has said this himself, so why is nobody paying attention to that and listening to the absolute crap which is doing the rounds on social media just to try and put a negative slant on Manchester United? Again, bitter journalists and opposition fans. My God, get a grip, people. I said it before, welcome to the real club world, welcome to the big football club world. This is what Manchester United is. Don't believe in the crap, people. It is not real. He doesn't want 250 grand a week wages. Just go and watch what Romano said and he will put it to bed for you. The only players that are going to be on more than 250 grand a week wages are the important players that have been there for Ruben Amorim, the big players that are featured last season, possibly Casemiro unless he is sold, and players like Bruno Fernandes. That's it. Obviously, Mason Mount isn't going to be on his wage because he's not in the Champions League. And clearly the 25% cut comes in when United players are not in the Champions League. So that's that done. He's not on 250 a week, so don't worry about it. I have actually been contacted by one of the journalists covering this, actually. So it goes to show how far the channel is being noticed as well, which is great news as well. But he was filling me in with some information on Bryan Mbeumo and when he met with Manchester United, well, his agent met with Manchester United just to start everything off, and this was all just before everything broke and went down. So well in the know, and everything is going smoothly. There is no drama, there is no issue, so I'm just going to put the dampeners on any negative vibes around this Brentford and Bryan Mbeumo deal. In fact, Ben Jacobs has pretty much done that himself today as well, so he's backed up what this other journalist has told me and come out and tweeted it, saying that Manchester United are now in club-to-club talks with Brentford. No fee yet, which is right and which I have also been told, which is good, because it just means that Manchester United are not jumping the gun here and making a mess of things. They're taking things seriously and respecting Brentford in this whole process. So this is vital for United because they want to start building relationships with clubs with this new structure as well. A fee of 50 million plus is what Ben Jacobs is saying is going to get this deal done. The valuation of Matheus Cunha is the yardstick and what Brentford are using in terms of valuation. They do have that extra year to add to Bryan Mbeumo's contracts if they want to trigger it. But United feel like they can get the deal down simply because Bryan Mbeumo is right behind this move, and when a player wants a move and doesn't want anybody else, it usually happens, which is why Ornstein went big on it, Romano went big on it, and every other journalist since went big on it. The ones that we talked about, the local journalists this morning that are just spitting bitter tears out because he chose United over, say, Newcastle, Spurs or Arsenal, but you're just not as big. It's simple as that. That's why. He believes in a project. Look, we've all doubted it ourselves as Manchester United fans, but look, does this not prove what Ruben and Ruben's appeal is at Manchester United? And do we not need to put a little bit of credit onto Ruben's shoulders here because of him making sure that these deals are happening? He is the one that is driving the Victor Gyökeres deal as well, don't forget. If he pulls this off, then sure, seriously, even if Ruben doesn't survive, Manchester United are filling this squad with absolute ballers and players right now. And so just to go over everything in terms of Bryan Mbeumo again and where we're actually up to, United have moved quickly. Contact has now been made from club to club. Negotiations are on. There is no bid that has been spoken of yet, as in Manchester United's first approach. There was one story which was saying Manchester United may be saying going in with an initial bid of 40 million plus 10 million in add-ons maybe that won't be enough, but United obviously starting off in and around that £50 million mark. United not too concerned about paying bonuses per se United getting Europe, and that's one of the bonuses that triggers more payments. I mean, if clubs are looking at negotiating with United and they're seeing Cunha go in, possibly taking Mbeumo, and then maybe more coming in, then you'd feel safe about getting into Europe. So all of these bonuses that can get negotiated into these deals and contracts are easily gettable probably sometimes, and United are probably all too willing to actually pay the extra as long as these players have performed. Like we said, enticing them in, incentives constantly. You will have to offer a bit of an incentive to the selling club as well, and I think this is where United will go. I think they'll put add-ons in on a Bryan Mbeumo to sweeten it up. Personally, I said it before, I reckon this deal will get done in and around £55 million-ish. I think that's where I think it's fair with a player 1 year left who wants to leave Brentford. They are feeling comfortable in their position. United are comfortable in their position. I can't see this getting awkward at all at any points, unless United go and really lowball Brentford. But I feel like they won't insult Brentford's stance on this, I don't think. They've gone in big and met the release clause of Matheus Cunha. This is a player on the same level in terms of his Premier League experience and quality, I feel, in Bryan Mbeumo. A little bit different player, offers a little bit something more, but that's what Manchester United need. They need that variety up front. So realistically, when we look at it, I think this will probably be Manchester United taking advantage of the contract situation of Bryan Mbeumo and getting this done. But going back on what we said earlier on as well, I've had this confirmed and I've listened to what Romano has said. Bryan Mbeumo does not want 250 grand a week wages. That is false, garbage, crap news. Don't believe it, Manchester United fans. It is being driven by opposition only. I said this morning, but I wanted to just clear this up right now. I did some digging to make sure, and it is quite clear in what Romano says, in that he wants to be fairly treated wage-wise, similar to what someone like Matheus Cunha would be on. Does anyone have a problem with that? He's on the same level and a par. It's two players at exactly the same stage of their careers that haven't got European football right now, that are moving to Manchester United to be part of a project in the same position, with the same output, really, near enough, who are excelling at their clubs right now in the Prem, who have all the experience Manchester United squad needs right now. These are just brilliant deals, whichever way you look at them. And people cannot handle the fact that United are making good transfers. So don't believe in the shit. Just trust in what is happening at United. Listen to what Romano said. I will always try and dig out the best news and obviously the honest and real stuff out of all of the reports for you as well. And from what I've read and from what has been said, it is quite clear. Bryan Mbeumo's contract situation is what United feel is going to get this deal done. They're comfortable, they're respecting Brentford, the talks are ongoing, the player has agreed to Manchester United already. That is one thing that's been said. And them agreements don't include somebody coming in from Brentford demanding 5 times the wages that he's on at Brentford right now and wanting £250,000 a week. It isn't happening. Trust me on this one. United have this in hand and negotiations are ongoing. So that is your update regarding Brentford's Bryan Mbeumo coming to Manchester United. That is the most significant news going around at the moment as well. In terms of Manchester United's pursuit of Franco Mastantuono, it is dead. Real Madrid are now in Buenos Aires. They're now in negotiating for Mastantuono. It's not happening for Manchester United. It really isn't. It's going to be either Real Madrid or PSG. PSG have forced Real Madrid's hand. He wants one of the big clubs. Let's be honest, United are just not in that position at the moment and cannot negotiate with teams like PSG and Real Madrid. Unfortunately, we need to build our way up. Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, possibly Victor Gyökeres, you're starting to build something there that can then make Manchester United a force again in negotiating for some of these raw talents. With this structure in place and United on a higher pedestal again, hopefully in the next few years, we're going to be in a position where we can attack everything that is actually going on in the, I would say, the European young player market. We are getting there, but there's some that are just out of our reach at the moment, and that is it. Quickly, updates on, good updates as well on Lisandro Martinez before we finish up. Lisandro Martinez is on course to return for pre-season training with the hope of making a first-team comeback in September. So, it looks like Lisandro Martinez is way ahead of schedule in his recovery as well. So that's more good news to bring you this lunchtime as well here on Forever United TV. Let's hope that he can make a speedy recovery. And that is some defence, isn't it? The positive train is in overdrive right now. Don't listen to the crap, listen to the real facts, listen to the real people. Thank you everybody for being involved in the video again. Get your comments in below and I will be back later on this evening with any updates. If anything does break in between, we are on with that. Actually, you know what? Before we actually leave, I forgot. Jadon Sancho possibly to Saudi. That might be coming up later on. So stay tuned for that one, people, as well, because there's not more noises about him moving on to the Saudi Pro League. I forgot to mention that, but we'll talk about that later. Let's deal with this right now. Cheers, everybody. Like, share, and comment below. Hit that subscribe button up on your screen right now to keep up to date with everything going on around United. Cheers, everyone.